All right, give me a second. Give me a second, y'all. I'm back in the house. Nobody came up in yet. All right, I'm back though. I'm back, y'all. Um, Hopefully I get some people in here today. Let me see. I'm gonna have to do a risk it for the biscuit. I gotta post this on Twitter. I usually freeze up. Let me see. Nope, not freezing up yet. That's a good thing. There go the freezing right there. Yeah. I'm waiting for a package delivery too. I gotta keep. That's why y'all gonna see me keep looking at my phone. Mm, Give me a second. I'm still trying to get people up there, y'all. I'm trying to send it to social medias, and the first thing I get to start doing, trying to look at stuff. What type of junk I'm on? Trying to look at what's going on the live. I mean, on the social media that I posted on, and that's not what I'm doing this for. I'm trying to check on my package at the same time, multitask and doing 3 things at once. Give me a second. Wow. Let me see. Nobody's still here. I'm gonna start reading off of something. I'm just about to start reading off my script. Give me a second. I gotta clean the palette. Oh yeah. I'm gonna start off the show by saying peace to everybody. Poe is back in the house. Like I never left. Shout out to Juice, King Juice. Shout out to J MMA. Jay, man, stop playing, man. Are you gonna do the survey or not? Just be honest with me. Hey, I don't want to do the survey. Excuse me. I don't want to do the survey, and because you feel that it's useless. That's how you feel. But I would love for all of y'all to jump on board with this survey instead of waiting to the last minute. This is what I always, even when I was helping EA and other companies, they wait to a company announce something or they like halfway in development and then they want to start giving ideas and stuff. No, we got to do it early. We know Steel City is working on Undisputed too. We got to give them ideas. We got to give them feedback, what we want. Because that thing going to say, hey, because when they make the game and it doesn't be what we want, then they're going to say, hey, this is what y'all wanted. And now y'all don't want it. Or they're going to say that, see, boxing games don't really sell that well. All these excuses that companies give. But if you had a survey, it proves factual that what fans want, the age of the fans. Some of y'all be thinking that somebody's going to take the survey 1,000 or 20,000 times just to push the numbers up. Some of y'all scared of what a survey will reveal. I'm kind of nervous because I've been pushing all this time, and then the survey come back that the casual and their younger fan base is what the game made for. Then I'm gonna have to concede and be like, all right, that's what it's made for. That's what you're gonna make it for. But I'm not gonna support it still. Because my thing is everybody should have their own options. Then it's gonna prove, then when people be saying, no, mostly everybody play online. Mostly everybody play online. Are you sure about that? Why are you scared of a survey? A survey would prove that not everybody play online and not the majority, like y'all keep saying. People love making up narratives that they hope that you don't go back and check. Nah, man, that ain't me. That's not me. All right. Let me read off my script. Salute to everybody that watched this show later. And hopefully you get on board and support the survey. Matter of fact, let me put this up there again. Put it up in the chat as a do you think content creators should push do you think capital? The first letter capital. Do you think content creators should push SCI or any other company to put out a survey? Oh, I know what I did. Yeah. Give me a second, y'all. I'm sticking at the cap lock. Gone. Do you think content creators should push SCI or any other company to put out a survey for? No, I gotta see. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All right. Let me see anybody pop in whilst typing that out. Nope. Dad, what's going on? What's today? Wednesday. Some people got paid today. Some people get paid on Wednesday. That's weird. They get paid in the middle of the week, and you got 2 more days before the weekend. Nah, son. That was weird. I think that happened to me one time. I got paid on a Wednesday or a Thursday. That was weird. And you got 3 days before you go back to work. Nah, that's too much time to waste money. 3 days to waste money. At least when you work, you don't got time to spend nothing. All right. What's good, family? Welcome back to Poe and the Community Speaks. Tonight isn't defending a game. It's not about tearing one down either. It's about something deeper than mechanics. It's about intent. Because some points you can tell, because at some point you can tell when a studio is trying and when they're just checking boxes. And boxing fans know the difference immediately. The optional death problem. Here's the wild pattern I keep noticing. Every time boxing fans ask for death, the response is always, not everyone wants that. But think about that for a second. Nobody says that about driving physics in racing games. Why do it sound like I'm reading the same script over and over again? I really didn't write it like that. Give me a second, y'all. Come on. I have my day be so busy I can't go behind. Give me a second. Um, I think I'm gonna have to freestyle again. Give me a second. See who's in here. Lamont Davis, thanks for popping in. Yeah, so I noticed that there are new people coming in the Discord and they starting to complain about stuff. Some people they're really trying to learn about the game. But my thing is no matter what you learn about the game or pretend that the problems are not there, the game will not get better. That's why I would always tell the content creators when they be having the leagues and stuff, they trying to make up all these rules to disguise the flaws in the game. You're fixing the game to play a certain way, and fans, I mean, and the developers are not going to fix it. What's up, on precisely? Why should they fix something if you found the way around what they messed up? That's what that's my only problem with the content creators that got the leagues because they're fixing it the way you play a certain way. They got certain rules, but that's not the way the game is intended to play. That's not really box. That's because you're taking something that's broken and you moving the characters in a certain way, even though other things is missing. But then people say, hey, because people send me videos. They literally be sending me videos. And I'm like, why are you sending me videos? Because it's like you sending me videos to justify what the developers destroyed and you making it look better. But that's like me taking an old broken down car. It looked like garbage. I paint it. Do a whole detail to it. I went and made it look like it's better than what it was. But the problem is you're keeping them from making a better game. Undisputed 2, I'm kind of thinking it's going to be a piece of garbage too because people keep giving them too many excuses. It's like you helping them put a band-aid on something that's messed up. That's the thing that bothers me. Give me a second, y'all. I'll keep checking my messages because I'm looking for a package. People around here, they'll steal your stuff. And that's the worst thing in the world. The worst thing in the world is for me to see somebody steal my package. I'm going to beat the brakes off of them. I'm going to beat the brakes off of them. Y'all going to see me come back in here and y'all going to think ketchup all on me. I'm going to beat the brakes off them. I hate when somebody steals something. Especially don't steal nothing from me. I'll give you my last. But for you to steal it from me, it's a problem. Always do that. Always do that. Asked my wife to give me some numbers, and she gave it to me at the last minute when I'm back in the house. All right. So yeah, so my thing is I'm always going to ask you, Jay. I don't know if Jay listening to it yet or not. But like I keep telling everybody, we got to push for a survey. Why wait till we know that they literally make the game? They literally made the game already. Now you asking for them to make a survey. You got to ask them early. That's why with EA, when I was helping EA, I knew the time period. I think I learned that, what was that? Fight Night Round 3. From the Knockout Kings, that's when I learned what time period you got to give them ideas, because they go into a thing where they all sit down and they start discussing ideas, how they're going to do the game and formulate certain things. And then you got to give them the ideas right then and there. That's why I'm like, we got to put the ideas out there now. And this is the craziest thing that I keep repeating. People like saying, we ain't got to tell them nothing. They're developers. Let them make the game. They're not boxing fans. They're not boxers. I'm a boxing fan. I box, so my input will mean a lot. It's people actually be saying, Poe, you shouldn't say nothing. Just let them make the game. They can get people in there. A lot of them people, they might get in there, probably never played a video game. They box, but probably never played a video game. Yeah, Sonny Edwards was in there. He was in there. That's it. He was in there. Did he make an impact? No. You got CB in there. And I'm not going to put, because I don't want to disrespect my brother, Jay Shep. Because I was going to say, Jay Shep, he boxing, he ain't saying nothing. You know, it sounds good to say, well, I talked to them and I gave them the list and we did this and did that. It sounds good, but I look at the way when I did things. You know, it might be different, but I look at the way when I did things. Like when I had the access to talk to people, I literally was like, yo, see, this can be put in the game. Even if you look at my if you look at the blogs that I be making with my wish list blueprint, I literally break down what I say literally, not literally. I literally break down things the way it can be implemented in the game. I literally break it down. And let me keep saying that word. But I keep breaking it down. And people still attack you just for saying something. It's weird. It's weird energy. And I think even when I be saying stuff in the Discord, and I know the developers, they love it when people try to attack me and stuff. And I'm thinking some of the guys that do try to attack me are developers. That's the thing that scares them. They scared that they might agitate me and one day might see me at a boxing match and I might smack fire out of them. Why? It's a video game. I might talk slick to you, but why would I smack fire out of you? Now, if it was Beast, he might do it. Beast might smack fire out of you. Cause Beast, he like the guy you tell to hold the grenades, and that joker start throwing them. Yeah, so let me get back to I'm gonna try to salvage my script. Let me see. All right, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. All right. Games teach behavior, not controls. Here's something we don't say enough. Players don't play. Players don't play how boxing works. They play how the game rewards. If a game rewards constant engagement, immediate retaliation, maximum output, then players learn that patience is weakness. It's starting to still sound the same. Yeah, boxing games misrepresent boxing all the way around. And that's why I be talking and that's why I be saying that these when people don't want boxers, like people like me, they don't want us to say anything and stuff. They want them to misrepresent it. That's why I was like every other sport or every fighting game, these people are adamant about how the game is made. If you go to their website, I'd make it my duty to go on these guys' website and just sit there and watch and listen. And I said, let me see something. I'm gonna say something that goes against the norm in here. Nah, that's not realistic enough. Oh man, them jokers gonna get mad. They get agitated. We don't need all this. We don't need all that. They don't want to hear that, but they make it's their duty to come and be outspoken. They try to be outspoken with a boxing video game. And that's crazy because us as the community, we come together. That's why I keep saying everybody, y'all should come at least come on the show at least one time a month or a week or something. Like just pop in, or pop on the talk show, be heard, let them hear your voice. Companies listen, they really listen. 16 people is let me see, 14 people shadow watching, but we have to let them know that we have voices. There are voices. It's just not my voice. Their thing is like, oh, it's just an old man complaining. An old man complaining that he's getting his money stolen. He's old. He could take out his Social Security. He's old. But guess what? There are young boxing fans that's complaining with me. There are younger. They're like in their 40s, 30s, 20s, even younger. Leafy is young. Leafy is still in high school, and he's complaining just like the rest of us. And I'm like, I know y'all like, Dad, he put Leafy age out there. No, Leafy, he don't shy away from how old he is. I just tell him that he just got to be careful working in the gaming industry because he's young and people would try to take advantage of how young he is. I even talked to Leafy father. Shout out to Leafy and his father, Mr. Leafy, Senior. But yeah, it's we gotta really be outspoken. Like even in the Discord, it's people that's like they like, it's like they try to be toxic on purpose and they call me toxic. How am I toxic? I'm trying to help this game be better. I want this game to be better. It's crazy. It puzzles me. Oh yeah. I did a blog for traits, and to me, still said, even though a lot of people say you don't want too many traits. All right, you don't want too many traits when you're playing online. But they should not limit the trait system. There should be way more traits in a trait system. People love to give excuses in this day and age. You can have a lot of traits. No, I'm not saying every boxer should have all these traits. No. But I'm saying there should be traits to choose from, especially when you're creating characters. You want to be able to use as much as you can to make your created character as realistic as possible. Give them an identity. I want it so, and I know a lot of y'all like against certain things like this. I want to be able to create Salvador Sanchez and Sugar Ray Leonard or Aaron the Hawk, and let them fight each other, and they fight like themselves. And I'm talking about that CPU versus CPU. That's good content. If people were watching, say, "Hey, I'm doing and if you look it up, there are people that do content like this, and they got close to 1 million views, if not 1 million views, doing content like this. I'm not saying a game exists like that, but they do content similar to this. I was saying that to this guy. He do something called Sim Boxing something. I forget the name of his channel. He does stuff with what still Undisputed is, but the fights all look the same. They all look the same. No, we want it so each boxer behave like himself, and it actually looked like a fight. That's what we want. I want to control my boxers too, but I'm just talking about options. I want to, hey, maybe one day I don't want to play like that. And I want to say, hey, I'm going to take this guy through his career as a manager or a trainer. That should be a mode. So I could take this boxer and I put him in the play CPU versus CPU, or I could be his trainer and manager and let him play against one of y'all. See, ideas. I can create a character and I gave him all these different things, and I put them in the game world online, and y'all play against them and see, can y'all beat them? Ideas. People don't realize how many ideas are out there. How's it going, card boxing? I didn't forget you. I'm gonna get on it as soon as possible. Once I start doing one thing, something else jumps on, happens. Just like my wife, she just gave me some text for something I asked her for earlier. Let me see. Give me a second. Yes, it puzzles me that that people don't come together, because we got powers in numbers, and Jay and King Juice, they were going against what I said. Powers and number. This generation is, I hate to say it, but this generation, y'all soft. Y'all soft. And I'm going to tell y'all how soft y'all is, because y'all feel that jumping somebody is manly. But we should, if we're going to jump somebody, I'm talking about verbally and protest like. We're going to jump anybody. It should be jumping the gaming industry. We should be jumping Steel City. Use that same energy. We should be jumping Steel City, EA, 2K, PlayStation. Do y'all know that PlayStation wanted to make a boxing game? Oh, I ain't supposed to have said that. But do y'all know that PlayStation wanted to make a boxing game? Do y'all know that somebody kept telling me it was some developer or something like that? He said, yo, contact Xbox. They're looking for ideas. But my thing is, why should I contact Xbox when I don't play on an Xbox? Why should I help a company make something that goes against what that benefits me? And I say, you tell them that I got a lot of ideas. You tell them. I'm not going after Xbox to make a game for them to make it for Xbox exclusively. A lot of people don't know who I talk to on a daily. Y'all don't know who comes in here and listen to this podcast. There are a lot of developers that come in here and listen to this podcast. There are a lot. I got over, let me see, 6,000 people that follow me on LinkedIn. And I'm guessing at least almost 6,000 are developers in some form or faction in the industry. Some of them are owners. Because you can look and see who looked at your post. And I see that's a founder from a company, a founder. Then I see a lot of people from Steel City. I see people from EA. I see people from 2K. I even see people from USA Boxing. So people, they watch me every day. They come in here, and I'm happy y'all do come in here. But my thing is, I wish y'all could find a way to communicate. Everybody tell me I got great ideas, but nobody try to pull me in a way, pull me in some type of way. But technically, I don't really want to be on the team. My thing is, I give you ideas, you make what I want, and I'm good with it. Like I tell everybody, you don't have to pay me. I don't want to be paid. I love this. That's how much I love it. Other people will say, man, you crazy. No, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. When I used to spar Shannon and Ray Mercer, I enjoy sparring them. To me, the money was like icing on the cake. I used to love sparring them. And if you listen to a lot of these boxers, especially when you're young, that's icing on the cake. They didn't care about the money. I think it was one guy that was sparring there with me. He came from another gym. He just liked the sparring. And I said, yo, they're going to pay you, right? He said, they're going to pay me? I said, yeah, they're going to pay you to spar Shannon. He said, oh, that's great. But I just like to spar. That shows passion. I have passion about this stuff. Some people say they have passion, but they don't have passion. I really have passion for this. I love giving ideas. Always was that type of person. People always say, Poe, you're the idea guy. You love I keep people on the right path when I'm around them. Even with my son, but even though my son, he's the type of person, because I'm stubborn and his mother's stubborn. And he don't know why he's stubborn. He just stubborn against his own self. My thing is, I'm so stubborn, you can't stop me from doing what I'm pushing to do. I was the type of person, when I was hurt, I broke my foot playing basketball. The day before I had a boxing match, I still wanted to fight. I still wanted to fight. I was going to try to disguise it. I broke my, what did it? And the way I broke my foot was crazy, because they said we never seen a fracture like this. That's crazy. The doctor said it. And I was like trying to avoid it. And what happened, it was the funniest thing. Oh yeah, this is a story. It was a funny thing. I was playing basketball with my brother, and I was like, because we used to argue, like, you got to be careful with playing basketball because you could get hurt, doing something crazy. And I was that day, because I'm not good at basketball at all. I really don't know how to play basketball if you want to be technical about it. But I was doing good. I was shooting threes, shooting layups and everything. I was too happy that day. And I jumped up and came down. Crunch. I heard it crunch. I said, hold up. Then I said, yo, man, I can't walk. I said, I was trying to walk on, and my foot like bothering me. I didn't have a car. My brother didn't have a car. He was one of my younger brothers. This joker went and got a shopping cart that somebody had. Put me in the shopping cart. I'm a grown man sitting in a shopping cart, and he pushed me like 10 blocks up to the hospital in the shopping cart. That was the funniest thing in the world. Funniest thing to me. And respect to him. I got mad respect for him just for doing that. Because I could have found any other way to get there. I could have been begging for money to catch a cab or somebody to call an ambulance. It's like, nah, man, get in the shopping cart. I'm gonna take you up to the hospital. You gonna get there. Then I had to call off my fight I had. Let me see. All right, let me read some more of this thing. All right, balance. The false idea that more action equals better boxing. Yeah, that's what a lot of people, that's the whole thing that I tell people when they took the referee out the ring, because the referee can't be put in the ring. Easy. It's an easy thing. But their thing is, and it seemed like they intentionally say, hey, see, the referee keep messing up, we can't put him in the ring. No, it's like y'all did that on purpose, because I see a lot of guys with less experience than these developers and coders that put the referees in the ring. And this is something that y'all have people that came before y'all did. And so with the referee, it keeps the action going. No referee in the ring, it keeps the action going, which it doesn't. Because now you got a guy that's going to run all around the ring. And you don't got a referee to shorten the ring. And then the referee to tell you to keep fighting. Stop that. It's too much of a stop in the action. You got to keep fighting. And then the clinching. The clinching is another reason for them to keep the action going. No clinching, so everybody gonna keep moving. Everything got to keep going. And then what else they took out of the referee? Clinching, fighting in the inside. They took so many things out, and all that was done to keep the action going, to keep it in an arcade feel, arcade mode. That's crazy. Because they're so lazy that they can't give you options. I come from an era when we had options. Everything had options. Hold up. 2K has options. WWE, it's not even really a sports skins. WWE, no matter how many people argue with somebody else. Wrestling games, they're not real, but they have options. MLB has options. All these games have options, but this game doesn't. Let me see. Boxing history doesn't reward constant action. It rewards control of moments. Games often invert this. They assume less space, more excitement. More punches, more realism. More punches do not equal realism. It really depends on the boxer. And people be trying to argue with me and tell me these things, and I'm gonna be listening to them. Everything I agree with, I don't agree with, because a lot of times I get silent and let you talk because I don't like arguing with anybody. I don't like arguing with anybody because some people, they're so convinced that they're right, and they'll keep arguing and arguing and arguing. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. I don't even argue with my wife. She used to get me like, why aren't you arguing back with me? Why? You want me to argue back with you? Because I don't like arguing with somebody, because with me, things go from 1 to 10 real quick. 1 to 10 real quick. Depends on how passionate I am about what I'm talking about. 1 to 10, quick. I'm that guy that it's like 5 of y'all, and it's that one guy in the crowd, out of the 5 of y'all, he's quiet, and his quiet is just as loud as the one in the group that's loud. That's me. I was always that guy. When they're about to do what they're going to do, Poe, go ahead. You go ahead, man. We don't want you to get in trouble with us. I'm happy for them guys. Salute to them guys that pushed me away. Even though I wasn't going to do nothing, because I was like the youngest father. I was the youngest person that act like I was everybody's father in the group. It could be guys like 10 years older than me. We're in a group, and I always talk with knowledge to them. Let me stop schooling y'all on stuff. Let me see. Let me start with the story time stuff. All right. But real tension lives in what didn't happen. A feint not thrown, a trap not taken. A step back that avoids disaster. When games erase those moments, they erase boxing intelligence. Yeah, boxing games, it's like with this game. Undisputed struggles with identity, because when they first made the game, it had an identity. When Undisputed first had created this game, it was supposed to be realistic sim. Then once they start getting people come on board, the identity start changing. They start trying to implement something else, and they didn't know what it was that they was trying to implement. And I hear this, what I used to like about the industry, when you could be behind the curtain, when you are behind the curtain with these developers and stuff. I'm talking about, like, I could talk to them like private conversations, and they're telling me what can be done and what can't be done, and then I go do the research and come back to them and say that can be done, and then they say you're right, Paul, but that's the thing I'm talking about. And and a lot of people they like, yo, how do you know these things? Because I do my research and you don't. I do my research. Everything is out there in the open for us. It's literally out there in the open for us to see it and understand it. But a lot of us don't want to understand it. You rather fight with somebody that make it their duty to find out these things instead of you going and be with him and say, hey, I went and studied it too and found out too. Hey, now we stronger together. But no, y'all don't want to do that. Why fight flow feels wrong when being broken? Some games aren't broken, they're just unnatural. The rhythm never breaks, the tempo never drifts, the fights never settle. Real boxing has dead spots, lulls, stalemates. When games eliminate those moments, they create motion without meaning. The dangerous way games frame losing. The dangerous way games frame losing. In real boxing, losing can teach discipline, force adaptation, redefine careers. In games, losing often teaches one thing: do more next time. Not smarter, not safer, just more. That's how bad habits get reinforced instead of corrected. Let me see. How games reshape what new fans think boxing is. This part matters long term. For many players, a boxing game is their first exposure to the sport. Facts. If the game teaches nonstop exchanges, that's what they expect. Instant retaliation, minimal consequences, then that becomes their understanding of boxing, not the ring, not the gym, not the history, the game. Let me see. Q&As. Give me a second. Let me see. Why do boxing games rarely simulate hesitation? Because hesitation is hard to quantify but easy to feel. In real boxing, hesitation shows up as half thrown punches, delay reaction, missed openings. Games usually require clean input, while which removes indecision, one of boxing's most defining traits. Why does foot placement almost never matter after movement starts? Because most systems prioritize distinction over setups. In real boxing, where your feet land determines what you can throw next. Games often let players throw full offense regardless of balance or stance recovery. Why do games struggle to show the cost of missing punches? Because misses are treated as neutral events. Breakdown. In boxing, missing costs balance, position, timing. In games, a miss is often just no damage dealt with no downstream effect. Why does head movement feel cosmetic instead of strategic? Because it's rarely tied to future advantages. Because it's rarely tied to future advantage. Breakdown. Head movement creates angles and counters. Games often treat it as a defensive animation, not a setup move tool. Yeah, because in real boxing, your head movement means a lot. You can set people up, make them think you're going to do this, I do this, or do that. You think I'm going to throw the punch from a certain angle. And that's a setup. Why do body punches feel disconnected from late round outcomes? Because their impact is usually delayed beyond the fighter's time frame. Breakdown. Bodywork changes, punch selection, breathing, guard, discipline. Gains often fail to convert body damage into behavior changes. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Nobody popped in the chat. All right. I'm gonna read from my blog. This is about traits. One of my blogs that I got some ideas on. All right, so it got traits for. I'm gonna read some of it. Core rules for trait design before the list. Before listing anything, traits must obey these rules or they become arcade nonsense. Traits do not add raw power. They bias decisions, reaction thresholds, and consistency. Traits activate contextually based on fatigue, damage, opponent style, round, scorecards, crowd, corner advice. See, these are the things that Steel City ain't talking about. And this shows you why traits are really not traits in the game. They literally turned them off because they don't know how to implement them. And y'all say, Poe, how do you know how to implement them? Do research, y'all. Do research. Traits have trade-off. No free bonuses. Traits stack with tendencies, not replace them. Traits influence animation selection and timing, not just numbers. Think of traits as behavioral modifiers, not abilities. Mental and psychological traits. These define how a boxer thinks under pressure. Iron composure. This is a trait. Iron composure. But when I say mental and physical traits, this is a whole category of traits for this mental and psychological traits. All right. Iron composure. What it means: maintains decision quality when hurt or behind. Implementation. Reduce reaction delay penalties when stunned. Slow panic driven stamina dumps. Keep guard discipline intact when rocked. Trade off. Slower urgency when behind on cards. Front runner. This is a trait. What it means: perform best when ahead. Implementation. Boost accuracy and movement efficiency when winning rounds. AI favors low risk tactics when score advantage is detected. Trade off. Confident drop sharply if momentum shifts. Momentum fighter. This is a trait. What it means: feeds off success. Implementation. Successful punch, slightly increase follow-up speed windows. AI becomes more assertive after clean connects. The trade-off: miss drains stamina faster. Misses drains stamina faster. I'm gonna do one more because it's a lot of them. Nerve of glass. Nerve of glass. What it means: crumble under pressure. Implementation. Increase hesitation when crowd noise spikes. See? The crowd does make, a lot of people don't think that the crowd does something to a boxer. In real life, the crowd could make you or break you. 100%, especially if your mentor ain't there. Shoot, I used to get here sometime that I wasn't like fully focused, I guess, because when I'm fully focused, I don't hear the crowd. But I hear the people, they chant and they saying my name and stuff. That makes me fight harder, makes me do better. You know, people calling your name like, oh, hold up, they calling my name. That right there by itself, you getting people in the audience calling your name, that should do something to a boxer. I know y'all will probably say, hey, that's an arcade. No, it's not. It's not an arcade thing. It's something that me and many boxers can tell you, that the crowd can make a difference. If they're booing, they still can make a difference. But they're booing you, that makes you get amped up. You're really trying to kill this joker. All right. Slow recovery between rounds. Guards open more when taking combinations. Trade-off, none. This is a negative trait. Yeah, I gotta. It's a lot. It's a lot to that blog. No, y'all should go to my blog and y'all could read it yourself. Let me see. When the moment turns dangerous. We don't have killer instinct in Undisputed. We don't have killer instinct in any boxing game. Killer instinct is a part of boxing. It's something that some boxers have. Some boxers got it and some boxers don't. They have the killer instinct. I know when I first heard somebody say that to me when I was in the ring, you know how to finish somebody off when you got them hurt. That's killer instinct. It's like when a lion bites you and he don't let off. He's constantly attacking you. That was in me. That was the warrior spirit that I had. Let me see. Earned outcome system. Building a realistic boxing career mode. Where styles. What is this? I'll be writing stuff and I'll be forgetting what I'm writing. This is about. All right. It's like a boxing world. You know, y'all gotta go on my blog and check out my stuff. I write so much. The ideas be coming to me left and right. Let me see what y'all saying in here. Nobody else came here. I think I'm gonna give it another 10 minutes, and then I'm probably just gonna be an early show. Yeah. Who was that? Mike Adams. Mike Adams was saying I should start doing story modes. Stories in my show. Let me see. I got a story. Who was it? Oh yeah, I remember when I was at. It's called Brick City Gym in Newark, and I was there. This boxing named Livingstone Brown, bro. Look him up. Livingstone Brown, bro, was there. Howard Davis was there. Howard Davis, one of my stable mates at that time. Howard Davis, Emmanuel Mayfield, look him up. He was one of my stable mates. We fought a couple of times before we became stable mates. Who was there? It was a couple of us there. And they told, who was there? Oh yeah, I know Hard Rock Green, this guy named Hard Rock Green. Y'all look him up. It's a boxer named Hard Rock Green. He got locked up. I think he did an armed robbery or something. But when he got out of jail, he started fighting again and stuff like that. So they told him that he should move around with me. You know, like, yo, get in the ring and spar. And he looked at me and said, man, are you crazy? You think I'm going to get in there with that big guy like that? And I'm looking up. I was saying that he was big myself. Because, you know, even though I'm like literally weight-wise, I was bigger than him. But you look at him, you know how somebody in jail, that's all they do is lift weights. he looked at like, I said, yo, that muscle bound joker, he gonna give me a hard time. That joke came out of jail and he beating the crap out of everybody sparring and stuff. And they was like, yo, get in there and spar him. And then he was like, nah, I ain't sparring him. You know, there's only certain people that would spar me. Some of the guys that sparred me, to me, they was like, they outweighed me, like, you know, but because I was a heavyweight in the amateurs, but I was a cruiserweight when I turned pro. So I was sparring guys like Shannon Briggs, Jamil McCline, look him up. He beat Shannon Briggs. They actually fought. That was crazy. I seen a couple of guys that I literally used to be in the gym with, they end up fighting each other. Like Shannon Briggs and Ray Mercer. I sparred both of them and they end up fighting. Let me see who else was there. It was some crazy stuff in there. Like, I don't know if I told y'all the story about when Shannon Briggs and what's his name? Maurice Harris. Maurice Harris is the guy that's the famous video of when he was fighting what's his name? Sutton Jeffries. He fought this guy named Jeffries, and Jeffries knocked him out. And he's like straightened him out like a board, knocked him out with his. But he's a good friend of mine. His name Maurice Harris. He was a good amateur. I think he should have stayed amateur at least 1 or 2 more years. But they rushed him. They saw money in him. Shout out to Bashir. A lot of y'all see Bashir because he worked with the Klitschko's and everything. He had him. And I think they just saw money in Maurice Harris. But, you know, then, you know, he got stretched. I mean, I'm getting off the topic. When Shannon Briggs and Maurice Harris, I think I went for a walk or something. And I walked up and I see him and Maurice Harris arguing and stuff. And they're like, because it was Shannon gym. It was literally his gym. But everybody always thought it was just an open gym for anybody could come there. No, it was Shannon gym. I remember Shannon and Ray Mercer was arguing about who gym it was. But this time it was Shannon and Maurice Harris on the outside arguing. And they was ready to fight. They was like, come on, let's go. Now I was like, yo, y'all crazy? These jokers about to fight. I'm like, y'all in the gym every day. I know y'all be mean mugging each other, but I'm like, yo, y'all in the gym every day. It was crazy. There's like, they had to be pulled apart. And my trainer, well, he's not my trainer, but he's the guy that used to take us running. We called him Joe, old man Joe. He looked like Uncle Ruckus, 100%, just thinned out Uncle Ruckus. Kind of act like him too. But that joker, he was up there like, come on, y'all, now stop. Y'all shouldn't be fighting. Drinking his coffee, and he's stagnant because he ain't had no balance because he used to be alcoholic. You know, and he had no real good balance, and he trying to break Shannon them up. And I'm like, yo, nah, I don't get in between nobody that's fighting because I don't want to end up being the one that's getting in the fight. So that was crazy right there. And I know I was rambling on because I was trying to waste that last 10 minutes. But I appreciate everybody that came through. Appreciate all of y'all. I'm gonna give y'all shout outs. Shout out to Card Boxing for showing up. And I'll get back to you. Shout out to Lamont Davis. Shout out to Precisely. I appreciate all of y'all. And shout out to the people. Let me see who shadow watching. Yeah, we got like 26 people shadow watching. Shout out to y'all. Please hit that like button on y'all way out, the shadow watchers. But I appreciate all of y'all. And I know I apologize to the developers that came through. I thought I was going to have better things to talk about today, but today wasn't my day. But, you know, every day we live to make up, we able to fix what we didn't do right the day before. So maybe maybe tomorrow, the show will be better. No, hope it is going to be better. Not no maybe, but tomorrow the show will be better. I apologize. And I want y'all to come back. But salute to everybody that showed up. And Don D205, Salute to you. Shout out to Leafy, AJ Pax. Where are y'all? Y'all didn't show up today. But shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody that support this show. I really appreciate y'all. My numbers are going up for the people that's subscribing to the show. And things only can get better. Can't get no worse from here. So peace. Talk to y'all later. Next show.